Animated Gems.
Hi, welcome to Obscure Delusions TV. This is my new series, Animated Gems, where I discuss and make fan art of my favorite lesser-known animated movies from my childhood. Today's episode is The Last Unicorn, and I'm so excited about this one, so let's dive right into it. The Last Unicorn was released in 1982, and it was directed by Alan Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass, and the story is by Peter S. Beagle. And it's the story of a beautiful unicorn who sets off on a magical quest to learn if she is truly the last of her kind. On her journey, she learns from two hunters and a butterfly that the Red Bull has driven the unicorns to the ends of the earth. And now she's on a quest to find them. She gets captured by a witch and then befriends Smendrick, who's this magician who's really bad at magic. And he helps her escape, and they continue on the quest. They meet a traveler named Molly who joins them, who's always loved unicorns and has always believed in them. As they reach near the castle of King Haggard, they encounter the Red Bull, and before she knows it, Smendrick has turned her into a human, which is devastating. This scene specifically is burned into my brain.
I can feel this body dying all around me.
Gets me every time. Smendrick was only trying to save her. The bull did leave because she wasn't a unicorn anymore. Anyway, they enter the castle of King Haggard, and you meet Prince Lear, who, of course, Amalthea falls for. He learns her true identity and declares his love for her anyway. King Haggard traps her, and the bull is no longer deceived by this spell that's on her. Smendrick awakens his real power and turns her back into a unicorn, but she refuses to leave the prince's side. I won't fully give away the ending because I got a strike for including it in my first draft, but just know there's an epic battle and some people die, and Amalthea goes back to being a unicorn in the forest, but she has learned two things: love and regret. Now, let's make some fan art and talk about the magic behind the scenes of The Last Unicorn. The art style and animation of The Last Unicorn is absolutely stunning. It might look familiar because it's the studio that brought you the Hobbit animated film in 1977, Topcraft Animation Studio in Tokyo, Japan. They also animated that classic movie Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Sadly, in 1985, they went bankrupt, but members like Hayao Miyazaki went on to create, Studio Ghibli. So yeah, that's amazing. Speaking of legends, the cast of this movie is incredible. Jeff Bridges is Prince Lear, Christopher Lee is King Haggard, Mia Farrow is our Lady Amalthea / Unicorn, Alan Arkin is our beloved Smendrick, and Tammy Grimes is Molly, just to name a few of the incredible voice casts on this movie. One of the directors, Alan Rankin Jr., passed away in 2014, but you may recognize his work from those stop-motion Christmas movies from back in the day, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, etc. And Jules Bass, or Bass, who also directed this movie, is involved in a lot of those movies as well. But most recently was consulting producer on the Thundercats Roar cartoon in 2020, which is kind of random. Now let's talk about Peter Beagle, the man who wrote this story. I have a deep connection with him because back in 2014, when the movie was re-released, we got to tour with him, and I'm in a group called Unicornutopia. We would make like unicorn and fantasy crafts, and we got to band at these premieres. And I will insert pictures from that event. It changed my life. It was really incredible. It was really inspiring, and he was so sweet. And I have a signed book that I treasure till this day. He wrote many other things, even a sequel, which I got a good around to reading because I do love that book a lot. Fun fact, this was my first time ever seeing a furry in real life, and Peter let us put a horn on his head. It was pretty amazing. And this is it. That was the art, and this is my art, and thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you made it to the end and you like this video, and subscribe. I'm excited to do more content like this. If you have any suggestions, let me know below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!